aso se awie ensama hodo ho ya yabwa no sa kan kase yabekenkan Edison mo de bedi akotene ni Abayense ofrase ayensakraye ewo omen adansie ehomremo na timi aboa afei so Saglemi housing project wo beshase Enyumera nomye wo asante mantemu hase aban hyehyeye a wode aba se esese wo bia niam a wo krafra manone aba wo ye ho insurance no wonye ntum Ora Kennedy wa hina Japan se delegate for ya wo mota na chi nyina wo behwe se abato no achi wo mbambo begina pemem Dia mabubo so ni afoforo binum eka ho ena awie mebe kenkan midi ede AFIA chumwa kachire yenhya se wa aban said the mpanimfo ya ewo aseye ya ehye adansie ni nnwuma so ekiremu no o my Ghana emra ahodo ye fa adansie ni adan han ho no won mutintim ye achapapa boni beka se bremu ye outdated atwam enti asasa won mutimitena se na wo ye nsakraye ewo mum na wode niam ahodo bi hyehyem na enei ya wiase nyina da ne ho no won mo hye rent any housing loss no ebeye de anika na won mo nam so ade aton safra ankrankra na wode wo ho ahyemu bi enra wuko government accountability series aseno also for wo sha dansie ene enwuma so owura Kenneth Gilbert Ejei ekokasaye wode ato dwase won mo ba be frase ayensakraye ewo Ghana dansie ene adan han emremum enti Rent Act 1963 Act 220 and a Rent Control Law 1986 PNDC Law 138 ninyina ye ensakraya wonmo eye ede afa samraimum na abantiri mo potitru pa ne sen wonmo ye sansakraya ya ebetimi de bambo ya esefata ede ama Ghana temamufo woni a wonya won ho bebre na afei na won sika sam efefe ba se de be ya wonmo ko han dan ya obia entimi enya won yodum emrei wo mo sakra mu nso betimi aboa ama won asisi hostels e wo Ghana fa na nyina no aba won ho bra na won matimi ahyehye se eboa hostel bia eje no sa pepepe ene sese won mo ekono yentie se de osoafo no ekire nsem
Review of rent laws. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, recognizing the critical role of rental housing in national development, my ministry continued the review of the Rent Act 1963, Act 220, and the Rent Control Law 1986, PNDC Law 138. These reforms aim to modernize outdated legislation, eliminate regulatory bottlenecks, and incentivize private sector investment into rental housing. Key priorities include maintaining tenant protections, especially for low-income and vulnerable groups, while also regulating hostel accommodations fees across the country. Towards the end of the year 2025, the National Rent Dialogue was organized to validate and streamline the proposed amendments. The ministry taking the necessary steps to resubmit the revised bill to Cabinet and subsequently Parliament for consideration and approval. The National Rental Assistance Scheme, established by the government in 2023 as a social housing program, aims to facilitate access to rental properties for qualifying beneficiaries by providing rent advance. The scheme is currently being piloted in 6 regions, namely Greater Accra, Bono East, Northern, Eastern, Western, and Ashanti regions. In 2025, the scheme successfully facilitated the payment of rent advance for 2,031 Ghanaians across its 6 operational regions, bringing the cumulative number of beneficiaries since inception to 4,732. I am glad to state that so far, the disbursement recovery rate is about 99%, indicating the government seed money is fully recoverable and in circulation. The program's eligibility criteria, application process, and beneficiary success stories highlight its effectiveness in addressing housing needs and enhancing community well-being, and government is poised to take the necessary steps in the short to medium term to scale up the operations of the scheme across all 16 regions of the country.
Ebusiafo so no etwa so kasafa saglemi housing project no a wono mo sha ase dada nanso woto no ajeje mu na aka nwura mu besi sabre no wose aban ayantoto ya wono mapa developer de adwuma no ehye ne nsantie nche wono mo besan akoso.
My ministry has intensified engagement with the selected developer for the completion of the Saglemi Affordable Housing Project. Following the completion of the developer selection process led by Deloitte Ghana, the head of terms have been duly signed by both parties. The joint venture arrangement concluded among all parties as well as the shareholders agreement drafted and mutually agreed upon. The document is currently with the Attorney General for review and finalization. Similarly, the State Housing Company Limited continued works on key projects, including the Surge Homes development at Amrahia, the SHC Gardens project. Both projects are currently at 68% and 70% completed, respectively.
Yatwa kasiano so oswafo ya woshe amanone ensem so owura Samuel Okujeto ablakwa ebo amane se bremu ushe ebibremu amahuduo nyina so a de ofra terrorism no ekoso papa pase etutrafo ne adonfoyefo besore no ato nipa so renom da biara da anye bia enipa beye aduanan de won mutimi ehre won monkwa ewo Africa. Na yade bia ama Africa mino ejidimbone ewo amanone enim. Wase ubu nkunta extremism and terrorism ewo ya ekoso ewo wiase amansan nyina no. Africa de no nkoa kame akwa akogina wo hamu nchemu aduosia. Ya eni kwan se basa nte braso se empanimfo esorigina waka na wo hye se bambo ho nsem ebe yi ni tiye ewo ebibremu na etimi aboa ama etutrafo ne adomfo yekuo ya wotama wo mohom ne so ekunkum nipa ewo ebibremu no ano etumi abrase enhyemu kese bia koso ewo nkran a ebibremu mpanimfo nyina behia ya wonom ede edwendwene ebibremu bambo eho ena Okujeto ablakwade nsemi etudwa.
We meet at a time of considerable anxiety. On the average, there are 8 terror attacks every day in our region. That on the average claims 44 lives every single day. The epicenter of global terrorism has moved from the Middle East to our region. We now account for at least 47 to 59% of all recorded global terrorism. The grave statistics continue that over the last 15 years, our region has seen an increase by 1,266% in terror attacks. And the death toll has also gone up by a staggering 2,860%. That is the grim reality we face. On my way here this morning, I received a call from my counterpart in Niger, indicating that they will not be able to join us this morning as they had originally planned because of an attack at their airport in Niamey last night, making traveling to Ghana impossible. So that is a reality. It's a daily, grim reality. And we cannot turn a blind eye because we are all at risk.
Enshemwa wonomo ye ede amanhodoa ewo ebibrema toye mpanimfo a wonomo eda bambo ano ebehyiaye ebinom efri Burkina Faso sanso ena ebinom efri Liberia, Mauritania, Nigeria, Mali ene amanhodoa aka blakwa ekire hia se wonomo nyina di nkabomu ewo bambo nsemmom na watai ene won ho twetwe nkomo na wonomo atimi ada won ho so ne ebasa wajidi se eno betumi ama wonomo ako etutrafo ene adomfo yekuo ahodo a wonomo etu atese ewo ebibremu no ase.
The challenges we face are not confined to a single nation. Extremism in the Sahel, piracy in the Gulf of Guinea, trafficking across porous borders, and the silent erosion of resilience in our communities are threats that transcend national borders. They remind us that no state can stand alone. Our strength lies in unity, in pooling our wisdom, and in the courage to act together. It is totally unacceptable that we do not have an agreed regional vehicle to address this trans-border challenge. And that is why we have convened this meeting as leaders determined to find a lasting solution to this threat. We meet at a time when the sub-region faces deep structural pressures. Violent extremism, terrorism, instability, climate stress, food insecurity, and youth unemployment converge, creating vulnerabilities that extremists and criminal groups exploit. Intelligence, therefore, cannot be confined to kinetic threats alone. It must encompass the broader picture, the economic corridors that sustain trade, the border communities whose livelihoods depend on cross-border movement, and the social fabric that binds our societies. Our deliberations today must be multidimensional. They must integrate economic realities, social pressures, and governance weaknesses into the threat we face. They must anticipate not only the movement of armed groups, but also the silent erosion of resilience in communities where opportunities are scarce. Intelligence becomes not only a security tool, but a compass for socio-economic.
Na oswafo wa share fisem so ene omei bambo eso Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak so eko dwumadie yase. Wakasa de tudwa se yeka bambo ya emudo a esesempanyimfo ehye na wo mo ema no etra asrafo edwumadie so ewo my Ghana mo kamye se da bia da yeka bambo ewo Africa na ye de ani kosi military so na so ekotra sa hye no enti mpanyimfo mo woni nkuhu ye papa pa no hwe se obedi dada nkabomu na wobiti Nigeria na wonya intelligence na wo kan ama Ghana fo ate no mo nyina atu ho anamo a wogidi se enumum ene beboa.
The regional and sub-regional mechanisms require renewed strategic direction, enhanced coordination, and a fundamental shift in perspective. Security can no longer be addressed predominantly through a narrow military and intelligence lenses. It must be embedded with a comprehensive, regionally owned cooperation framework in which development and security are mutually reinforcing pillars. At the national level, Ghana is facing the brunt of such transnational and organized crime, such as illegal migration, smuggling, drug trafficking, and cybercrime. Through intelligence gathering and interagency collaboration, Ghana has chalked some successes in making some arrests, but there's more work to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, this high-level consultative conference
Abata wonomo ehwe sumasi dwademu nhwehwemu Criminal Investigations Department ebo amane se wonomo atimi aduaduemu akwokyera konfu remfo ne akwamukafo bia wonomo de frafra se wonomo abu nipa faso age won ho niema ewo ekwan ahodo bebre so amene wo mkuwa ayemanti mpanimfo ache won ebra wone nsemtrefo etwetwe enkomo no panipa wono and that Criminal Investigations Department announcer Director General COP Lydia Yako Donko etre musa nipa wachire wo mo no woye dumienu na emonso de armed robbery attack bia ekoso afrase ewo Tamale Bupe Kwantempo no so a na Council of State member baako eka ho na wonmo edi sadwuma na wonmo akaso enkasemu kwan so ena wonomo agye nkrofo ho niema abo wonomo krono a enaidie nyankopon ayi wo mo sokrata aban kaba eda wonomo nsan.
Today's briefing will focus on two major success stories. 1. Police arrest 7 suspects in a highway robbery involving a Council of State member. And then 2. Police arrest 5 suspects for robbery at Nkasem. Police have arrested 7 suspects in a highway robbery involving a Council of State member, which occurred sometime last year. 7 suspects identified as Rashida Yusuf, Aaron Abana Baswifanga, Wilson Avasong, Muntaro Idrisu alias Virgin, Aminu Zebrila alias Birdman, Inusa Sumaila alias Agenda, and Haruna Safiano have been arrested in connection with a crime. On 21st July 2025, the victim was traveling along the Tamale Bupe highway when he was attacked by 6 armed men who robbed him of personal belongings, including mobile phones, some cash, wristwatches, reading glasses, a laptop, and other items. On 11 January 2026, following intelligence gathered by the CID, a team from the anti-armed robbery unit was dispatched to Salaga in the Savannah region. This investigation continues. Now to the story on the arrest of 5 suspects for robbery at Nkasem. The Ghana Police Service has also arrested 5 suspects in connection with the robbery attack at Nkasem in the Ahafo region. The suspects, Mutar Kofi, Mahamadou Sadio alias Salifu, Shaibu Issa Jallo alias Jibo, Abdul Suleiman and Bukari Sule alias Taylor were arrested on separate days in connection with the robbery. On 2nd December 2025, the suspects, together with other accomplices armed with weapons, blocked the Goso Tepa Road and simultaneously attacked the Nkasem Police Station, a Jumapa Cocoa Buying Company, Kobe Gold Buying Company, and the Esutifi Rural Bank area at Nkasem. During the attack, the assailants made away with 2 AK-47 service rifles. They also stole cash amounts from the bank.
COP Miss Lydia Donko Ekoswa de Abasobo MRCID Ejumakonom. One year what this Ejumanisha one son will Timmy and Shushamua and ne one more ehunu de wohunu ya wobo ho amanie. Owie ye no obo Ghana fo ano ho ba se omanfo bambo nyina ebisha prosifo ensem to ombeba wo homoden na wo mayere bambo mo afei aprosifo obo ho ban no wo ye dasani a wan kasa so fa bambo sha wonsem nyama ahodo obi a wo mo ye no social media ema wo manfo hunu se ebia nipa ye nya ne ho nti ye beta no akwaje ne ho ne ma no wo mo hwe so obeyi ni nyina akwa.
I would like to take this opportunity to urge us all to take our personal security seriously. We urge all and sundry to remain vigilant against cyber crimes and crimes perpetrated online. Exercise due caution on digital and social media platforms. Avoid sharing personal or financial information with unknown individuals, and be wary of unsolicited messages or calls requesting sensitive details. Motorists are also advised, and especially those involved in vehicle sales, and they are also encouraged to stay alert at all times, especially when driving at night or in isolated areas, and also when people approach vehicle sellers with the aim of buying vehicles. You need to be wary of such supposed buyers. Ensure that vehicles are properly secured, avoid picking up unknown individuals, and be cautious when stopping for distress signals that may be staged. Finally, let us adopt basic safety measures in our daily routines, stay alert in crowded places, and inform trusted individuals of your whereabouts. Any suspicious activity should be reported immediately to the nearest police station for assistance. On behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohono, I wish to commend all officers who
Yeto akase no Sonia ko amanyosem emo MPP amanyokuo no mu ena yakodrin ora Kennedy wo hene Japan ka woni a April to me se wo betu franka ama amanyokuo no memene da abato ya ebem mu na ekuo bi eka Kennedy wo hene Japan ho a wo mani abre ebo nto ema no gidigidi wo mudi ene Oak for President 2028 woni asma wo kanyina ne se wo manyane said delegate dodo no a wono mo ayi wanchita edi ama Kennedy wo hina Japan no empanimfo bi ahyase ebo wono mo ntrane hunahuna wo mo MPP mu enti sa wo delegate na ta Kennedy echi na okura dibre bi a wo ma ya adwene se abato no achi no wo mbe hwa agege se dibre ni nyina free delegate eti sa ensem na Oak for President 2028 for say wo bo sa ni pa eti sa no anohoba se Kennedy wo hina Japan say want na se ema obi ntietie obi fa ahodie so na wonhunahuna wo mu nti obeba wo ho ban abato no gina mu abato no achi se de be ya dibre ya ekura wo mu nyina no obi a entumi enye nipa odi ekoya ni mu ede sansemi atudwa eye ewra ya ansa safori yentie se de obo anamane
akwa for body whole country ya papa so metumi nya akonya ne ko ene na atohye so na baby a obeko bia Obia se Kennedy. Baby abeko bia Obia se Kennedy. Uni ma wa sembi. Nya mo wa di say grassroots no. Omo make your margin ready so mbeto amaken. Enu ti na bebe kata ni intimidation. But let me tell you, we a delegate as a say who right. As a delegate, on person so na you say kwala kodi yan kan yanka so ye bobo e mo bi. We are delegate, we are tia, and we see. One like a bomb on Nasia, ya kotomo. It's not say John of all people, my sister John, or say, fear delegate. One guy's delegate, fear penny for. It's the other name, what say, near intimidating. Nippon also be you with you, mono. We say one vote, and the independent baby, I would. Not the one appreciate too. Brawa, bra, baby, or say. 2 months, yes, I may with my mama, papa. Kini kind na yini free na kwanya betimi yi na free aso beto ma Kennedy on Japan you reckon Japan say ono no ba bebo album ne ho ban yeah your party your album ni ma ye to de ne de na ba no opeso ne ye kọ akwantuo no o ma me you be enfim o mo say one to ama asomasi a ye be yi wafim sankofo ne nyinara o ma shomofuma mu hu ana eno mo say no enam yera Kennedy swinti no delegates na nie bie etimoni bie mpanyifo se kwase eniti ana agwagu eni bie na eba nti no amma se so mo yira on pese mo to abade se no mamo to ma yera Kennedy se le be ya on betumi asesa album ni yi mo na film e de nkola on betumi control ma begum na de na ya so be bre wo bre wa ba power ye fiu what a wo opposition na se ne ye obi a grassroots Yahiniaba, king of the voice of the voiceless, hope of the hopeless. Yeah, Anumbe Gemuno, Endube Gemuno, Yamia Dumi Obi, or the Ajenquabiaba, or Jene Yahu. You reckon Japan was some party 20-24 years. papa we di sika abo party ni mu abo party na ma party abedu na mede ebinu mu di mu ahusane na mebo yera ba omia wo so boy pink sheet ya ti ase yesu ye de running mate 8 years now yes I'm the vice president eda wa say na kedi enbiom wo si
Premto Brekasia yede beso mo fache TV so na ha ne yede ni nyina ba awieye Millennium Construction ebo michidom adansie hu ha obi eja ukoda na no won na mekamfo akireo sa awieye fa wotam kobo wo mo dia no obeboa wo beso mu yie amwani age won mo som ho na dia wo hwehwe afri wo mo ho no etumi abamu sa ma Kumase Boshe na Yas Junction wo mo kira kwan wo utimi nso fa wo mo numbers no go screen ni so no na ne mpanimfo ekasa so how no construction kwadia Millennium Construction midi the AFIA chumwa Kaakyire de mo si ha kramo yumre no nsia ya beside the kasia foforo abesomo yada mo ase ema mo